And thanks a lot, Kilashi, for the glorious donation once again. It seems like you just can't get enough of watching these games, even though you are the one funding them, you are still throwing money our way. Holy hell, man. Anyway, it is once again gonna be Operation Red Mist. And as such, we can expect some naval action and also coupled with some air-on-air. So, let's see what are the faction choices for our players. It seems like Blinchik is gonna go and opt for picking up Cybran. Then, Svatosław being the Seraphim. Limes also going for Seraphim. And Wi-Fi thankfully opting for the UEF as the choice of the faction. Which is very good to see because Neptunes on this map are an amazing choice. Other than that, their opponents are gonna be having WaffelzNoob playing Seraphim. Up then we have Radde playing Cybran. Seraphim Noob going for the Aeon ACU. And last but not least, we're gonna have Tersto also going for the Aeon. So a very nice spread of factions. Although actually, wait, no, they don't have the UEF faction. Oh my, what a blunder. Like, the problem with not having UEF is here that this map is big. There is actually also a lot of reclaim which you can use to boost your early game. And considering there is a 20 by 20 map, it will take a lot of time to actually get from one side towards the other. Meaning that having that ability to go for the T3 UEF Navy is very, very important because you not only get amazing Neptune on the tier 3, but also on the tier 2 you can also make some shield boats to go and support your teammates. Like, obviously, the destroyers is, well, we don't speak about it, it's just that bad. But your ability to support your teammates on the T2 stage is actually quite great. You also get one of the better TML cruisers. So yeah, I'm very disappointed not to see a single UEF player on the team of WaffelzNoob, so yeah. Very sus indeed, very sus. Other than that, I guess we can expect some early drops happening to see if they can actually go and fight over these corners here. Or if maybe everyone is gonna go and focus on pushing towards the middle. Because while there is not that much, well, mechs available, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I cannot count today, it's only 6 mechs here on the middle. There is still nearly 20,000 reclaim available, so yeah. This is still gonna be a juicy thing to go and fight over. Other than that, we can see that there is the first drop happening, and they have been made by both Limes and Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi gonna go and opt for the middle reclaim. Meanwhile... No, wait, that's Limes. Limes is the cyan one, Wi-Fi is the white one. And Wi-Fi is gonna go for the top corner, which more or less should be belonging actually to WaffelzNoob, who have the closer spawn. He was a little bit late on his own transport, but he still should make it, so we will see who's actually gonna go and win this one. Especially, as interestingly enough... Oh, that's a different game plan than I thought. Not to mention, it seems like the transport from Wi-Fi have been fought by the enemy team, and as such the Sus Amogus is gonna have it on its own target. First shots have been fired, but it seems like the transport still might make it just far enough to go and drop the rest of the engineers on the safe port, where they can actually try to go and steal some of the mass which should be belonging to WaffelzNoob. And no! No, a good micro is gonna go and save the engineers. The transport is obviously still gonna get shot down, but the engineers can still go and make their way to go and try to steal some of the reclaim from this island. Although unfortunately, it seems like having control over this is gonna go to the hands of the Team Amogus. On the bottom part, it seems like Blinchik is gonna take control over this expansion without any kind of enemy units messing up his plan. So yeah, this is just gonna go to their way, and the middle is gonna get into the hands of Mr. Seraphim Noob. As you can see, his drop managed to land. He already have 2 land factories building out stuff in units, And we can see him already trying to steal as much mass as he can. Now when we zoom out we can see that WaffelzNoob is producing also quite a few bombers here, so it seems like he's planning to... Oh, I guess he's just making them so that he can go and make sure to kill the enemy engineers which are stealing the reclaim, which is obviously his. Like, this is Waffel's part of the map, so what are you doing here, WaffelzNoob? Get your greasy hands out of my map, right? It also seems like, well, WaffelzNoob is gonna come under the control of this island here. Even though Wi-Fi was the first one to drop the engineers here, the NG got bombed, and as such, after that, well, the island is ripe for the taking. We have a small AI drop happening, with a few Zoes to go and try to be annoying little cunt, but it seems like it's not gonna happen as the topside team, Team Amogus, is, well, maintaining more or less the air control. As such, I assume that this transport is gonna get caught without even landing once. Another drop, this time coming from Tersto, to just go and drop more engineers on the middle island, which is not something I really agree with. It seems like there's still gonna be fight happening, as we see that Svatosov actually dropped a bunch of engineers in the left corner of the middle island, and he is also gonna go and move his own ACU towards there. So yeah, even though the Team Sus was the first one to make the landing here, it seems like we are still gonna go and have a fight over it. Although the question is, how quarter of the reclaim is already gone, so do you still wanna go and fight for it or not? Like, it seems like kind of a useless fight, but hey, whatever happens, happens. Now, looking at the main bases, it seems like Svatosov is also gonna go for the T2 RHQ. He's also gonna go and start building navy, as we have the first frigates being already fielded. Svatosław is gonna just build navy and some units on the middle from what it seems. Then we will have the Limes playing as the air player and gonna go and build the HQ already. And strangely enough, he's not going for the pigeons. Instead, he's going for a T2 transport and also a T2 upgrade on his own ACU with just... which I think means that he's planning to drop his ACU somewhere. We also have the T2 HQ finished by Wi-Fi. So strange plays happening from the other team, so who knows, maybe they're gonna plan to make a double comdrop or something with the engineer upgrades. On the other hand, we have Bully, who is, well, not going for any kind of T2 switch yet. He's just full on building T1 Navy and focusing mostly on that. And please take those maxes. Don't let them stay here like that for much longer. That would be much appreciated. Other than that, we have Rade, still standing on the T1 stage. Then FAF being the air player, we can already him having the T2 RHQ and now building up the power generator necessary for the T3 switch. And then Tersto is also gonna go for the T2 RHQ, which I guess is gonna do quite well. Especially as the Aeon Air, the T2 Swiftwinds can be used as a small short stop between the T2 and T3 switch, as they can buy some time. Finally, we have some fights happening between the land units, although a big mismicro happening on the side of the topside team, as the units belonging to... who is it? Tersto are getting eradicated by the tanks belonging to Svatosław. After all, you don't want your Auroras face tanking enemy tanks. Your main advantage is your range, so use it, because you have no HP or anything. So even though I might have thought that this middle island is gonna be firmly secured by this bunch of build power available to both FAF and Tersto, it seems like Svatosław might be actually capable of, well, grabbing it back, even though he was quite late. Even more so, as we can see that Blinchik is also joining the fray with a few factories of his own. So I'm quite surprised to see that they're gonna be fighting over this middle island, especially consider that in the game before, on this map, well, after the yearly drops and, well, cleaning up the middle island from all of the reclaim. Nobody was interested in fighting over it. So that's definitely interesting. Let's see what is happening on the naval front. It seems like no frigates fighting over the map positions right now. Or actually no. We're gonna have a small kerfuffle happening here as we have the Trident class frigates from Rada engaging the enemy beacon class. Although with the addition of the frigates from WaffelzNoob, it seems like the bottom team is gonna be forced to go and fall back. Even more so as there are some submarines in the unit mix, meaning that there is no chance of winning this engagement here for the team 3 Al-Kasha and Baltica 9. And as such, they should go and concede this part of the map for a few more minutes towards the team Susamogus. Okay, let's go back to the middle island. It seems like the fight is still raging on, but there is a big problem. Tersto made the T2 land switch. As we can see, the blazes are already on the field, blinking away at the enemy T1 units. And if there is a good unit, a kill. Oh. Limes coming out of the T2 upgrade. I can now see why he was building the T2 suit upgrade on his ACU and the T2 transport. That was also he can go and make this sneaky play to get this PDs up and running, and all the way this PD is shooting the hill. Kind of unlucky, but still this is a very good position because from here you can have just Limes dealing damage to all of the build power available here. You're gonna even make one PD here. Although it seems like Terzo is gonna react on time by building on his own Eve songs, the T2 mobile missile launchers, to go and counter the PD spam coming out from Limes. So yeah, Limes should better find a better way to deal with it. Especially as it seems like Svatosov together with Blinchik are being pushed back by the big army, by Tersto and by Strafenduk. As the Auroras can be seen to be well just eradicating one town after another. As the T1 units are falling down, although here comes the chickens from Svatosław. So yeah, the Auroras are no longer gonna go and cut it. The blazes, as cheap and easy to spam are they, it is gonna be very hard to actually go and contest versus the Ilchavos. Especially as from what I can see, there is not a single AC available on the island for the top team. Meaning that the team Sus Amogus is on the back foot. After all, having the access to overcharge on free ACUs belonging to Svatosław, Wi-Fi and Limes is gonna be a big boon for the team Al-Kasha and Baltica 9. Meaning that this ion is most likely never mind. Here we have a hot drop of Tersto ACU. Double gun have been achieved on this ACU. Meaning that the game is gonna be even out a little bit more. As the tensions on the middle are rising, we can see that more and more drops are coming in. And the drop coming up from Blinchik bringing in some more build power towards this battlefield. As we can see, the rain pouring down on the players. As the fight is raging on, Svatosław has his own gun upgrade available. We also have the AI dropping in some T2 engineers for whatever the reason in this battlefield zone. Not sure exactly why is this happening, but hey, maybe it's trying to help in its own way. Anyway, Tersto is gonna be forced back to go and fall back as 3 ACU from the enemy team are just gonna come closer and closer, and Svatosław having the gun upgrade ACU is enough to basically even out the playing field here. But the problem is that he's all alone here. There is 2 more ACUs, they might not have the gun upgrades available, but they still have the overcharge, and overcharge is gonna be a big game difference maker, man. After all these hours of speaking, I am starting to stutter. That's not good. Anyway, it seems like WaffelzNoob is gonna go and bring in some support to the middle. As we can see, 3 Vultus coming in to go and, well, make sure that the enemy ACUs are gonna go and be forced to fall back. But here comes the ASF to just swoop in and shot down the gunships. But thankfully for the team Sus Amogus, it seems like they have built just enough of their own interceptors. They might not have ASF available, but the big cloud of the interceptor is gonna be enough to go and scare the enemy ASF. Meaning that they still have some time available to keep on using and abusing their T2 gunships from WaffelzNoobs. We can see the engineers trying to go and build as many emergency T1 AA defense, which is basically falling down one after another. We also have WaffelzNoobs building his own units on the other side of the island, which I have just somehow missed totally. as we have Bolix, Ilshavok, Yenzins, and also some missiles, MMLs coming our way to go and help out Tersto deal with their opponents. Also, looking as to what is happening on the Navy side, it seems like WaffelzNoob is firmly in the control of the game. As we can see, the first AI naval factories are basically being beaten down to death. The broadswords have been brought in by Wi-Fi, but a lone one is not gonna go and work out, especially as there is a hell lot of AA firepower available on the frigates of the Seraphim units. And as such, the gunship is gonna be forced to go and scurry away. A few more frigates coming out from the allied AI is gonna go to buy some time for the Navy on the top side. But unfortunately, it does seem like WaffelzNoob is unfortunately firmly in control here. Some ASF from Wi-Fi are gonna go and fly over the Navy, which is unnecessary, as they're gonna go and lose a lot of HP trying to go and shut down just a few of the enemy interceptors. But the middle, what is happening in here? It seems like we have players slowing down a little bit. And there is a TML missile being fired by one of the Baltica 9 players. And it seems like there is no available TMD. Wait, don't tell me all of this have been just killed by a single TML missile. Yes, I do think so. This TML machine have been just erasing one factory after another, not even wrecks remaining. So yeah, amazing play happening on the Team Baltica 9, as they are basically putting out their A game to just keep on playing this tournament. After all, one more win and they can keep on playing. And if Team Sus Amogus loses this game, well, they're out of the tournament. So it seems like WaffelzNoob is not gonna keep on pushing in with the naval forces, which are actually, well, still quite considerable. But it seems like he's actually quite scared of the fact that his team doesn't really have the air control, and as such the threat of enemy torps just dropping in and killing off his navy is, well, just a little bit too big. So the man is gonna play it safe. Other than that, we have some units on the left flank, as it seems like Blinchik is not only winning the fight on the middle island with his TML play, but also he is managing to go and push back the enemy AI forces in the naval game with a bunch of destroyers, a single mermaid and a bunch of Siren-class cruisers. And it seems like there is no real response happening from the Team Susamogus. Like, sure, they just started building some navy by Tersto here, but the first Exodus class is unfortunately gonna come out only in a few next minutes. Also, is this even Exodus class or is this a cruiser? Let me take a look. Yes, that's an Exodus class, so yeah. But still, even if it's finished, it is gonna be going up versus already 3 Salems and 2 cruisers from the army of Blinchik, so yeah. It's gonna be very hard to go and stop this push. Middle Island is looking more and more abandoned by the topside team. Especially as even we have broadswords being brought in by Wi-Fi, so yeah. All that's gonna happen is basically just reclaim everything on this part of the map and just run away. Cut the losses and focus on getting back into the Navy game. Okay, we have the... No, never mind, it's not a T3 switch, it's just the T2 HQ being hard assisted to keep on producing more and more destroyers for WaffelzNoob. And let's take a look at the mass income. So, Team Baltica 9, 720 mass per tick. Team 2, Team Susamogus, 940, so honestly that's a very big difference in the mass production. And that's over 230 mass per tick, so honestly, even though the Team Sus Amogus might not have exactly the amount of map control they might want to have, they are still quite far ahead in the economy game, meaning that they can easily make a comeback. Although the problem is that first you will have to go and somehow stop this navy force from Blinchik, like, yeah. Because otherwise they're gonna be a pain in the ass to go and deal with. And I don't feel like this is nowhere enough to go and protect your shoreline from the enemy forces. A nice push with the Vultos to just go in and eradicate enemy destroyers here. Although thankfully it seems like Wi-Fi is paying attention and his ASF are gonna respond in time. So all the damage that have been done is gonna be like 5000 HP on a single destroyer, and that's gonna be it. as the response times from the airplane belonging to Baltica 9 are just mwah, chef's kiss. Whenever something bad happens, he is there to basically go and respond on time. Like if you want an air player, this is what a good air player looks like. So, it seems like the naval game is unfortunately crumbling down for the topside team, as the Sus Amogus are... Never mind, T2 drop is gonna happen, as Svatosov is gonna try to drop a few of his Ilshavok. Yep, 4 of them managed to go and land, and as such, the T2 mass extractor is gonna be the first victim of the drop. It also seems like they might go and kill and wear the airfight by killing a bunch of interceptors, which is a classic in any tournament. Land units winning the airfights. It happens always. Although, thankfully, it seems like there is some T1 bombers being available, and the Salem also have just enough range to make sure that the Ilshavok cannot get too deep into the enemy territory. Oh no, a horrible airfight just happened, as we could see Wi-Fi just swooping in and killing all of the ASF interceptors belonging to WaffelzNoob, which is gonna be a horrible mistake on his part, because right now he will be no longer capable of defending his own units from the incoming air threat. And the threat is big because there is not only air units, but also naval forces from Svatosov just eradicating one destroyer after another belonging to Waffel. As we can see, the Ushavok just dropping one after another. Yep. Thankfully, a good bombing run from the torpedo bombers is gonna go and buy some more time by eradicating one of the destroyers belonging to Svato. But man, the left side, how do you stop this purple mass of doom which is getting bigger, bigger and bigger? It's like a snowball that's never gonna stop. Like, what is your plan, guys? Tersto, FAF, how are you going to go and stop this big force of the angry Salems and Sirens? Because it just doesn't seem like anything is gonna go and happen to just stop it. Like, your T2 HQ is already coming under the fire. And man, it seems like the ships belonging to the top team are just gonna go and melt under this artillery fire, as more and more shells are connecting with the targets. Thankfully, it does seem like there is some small air force, some task force happening from WaffelzNoobs to go and buy some time for his teammates. Or actually no, this is not Waffel, this is actually Rade coming to the rescue of Tersto to go and buy some time by moving in a few of the Salems and Sirens on the other side. So yeah, Tersto gonna have a small briefing room to go and buy some time for himself. But the problem is that while he will get some time to go and brief, the navy belonging to Rade is unfortunately gonna get dismantled at the very same moment, so yeah. It's very hard to go and say how exactly are they planning to go and stop it. Let's take a look at the ASF numbers. 50 ASF for Wi-Fi going up versus 21 ASF for FAF, so yeah, this is looking very, very bad indeed. And when it comes to the mass production, FAF is on 190 mass per tick, Wi-Fi 220, so I'd say that the air player for the bottom team is, well, in a very, very comfortable position here. And as such, I don't think they're gonna lose air control anytime soon. Also, there is a TML ACU made by Limes, which is scoring up hit after hit, already 9,000 mass killed on this bad boy. As we can see him launching missiles to the way of the coastline belonging to the WaffelzNoob and to also Rade. As we can see, the missile scored another hit. This time not finishing the max, as this is a Cybran T3 max. Although one more missile is gonna go and make it die. That is, if it will even fly there. Okay, yes, another missile is flying its way, so yeah. Unfortunately, we'll have to go and say goodbye to this little good boy. You have made your best, but unfortunately, it seems like your owner never appreciated you, as there was no TMD to protect you from the missiles. Boom. So, the situation is really looking quite grim. Oh no, Rada is gonna go and throw away his navy by trying to buy even more time for his teammates. And this is not how you do it. Because this is nothing but a mass donation towards the opposing team. And looking just how many powerful blips we have on the map, yeah, you don't wanna keep on making more of them. And each donation means that there is gonna be one more frigate, one more destroyer popping up in the next few minutes to go and eradicate your own forces. So yes, don't do it. Do not donate mass towards your opponents. If you are not sure you can win the fight, don't take it. Like, just look at the amount of mass available here. In all of these units, 2 cruisers, 12 destroyers, 15 frigates and 2 mermaids going up versus what? What do we have rather? Well, 8 destroyers, so not that bad. Especially if Tersto is gonna go and support with another 5, so yeah, okay. The navy might not be looking that bad, but the problem is that all of this reclaim is unfortunately mostly going to the hands of, well, Blinchik. So this is quite bad. We can also see that the AI is trying to go and move with a few blazes and try to, well, raid the mexes and other stuff belonging to WaffelzNoob in the top right corner. We can already see one of them being destroyed. A small fight gonna happen. Unfortunately, this is gonna be nothing but a suicidal mission for those few frigates belonging to WaffelzNoob, as they're gonna get basically lasered down and broken down to atoms by the enemy destroyers. Another gonna fight happen, as this time it's gonna be the destroyers from WaffelzNoob initiating the fight. We also had a beautiful T2 Ilchavok drop happening, as Svatosław is just bringing out his A game. And it seems like there is really nothing to go and protect the mexes belonging to WaffelzNoob on this island, so yeah, there is a few PDs here and there. But considering there is just 4 chickens, I'm unsure if the engineers can actually just set up just enough defenses to stop this raid. But what is happening on the other flank? How many kills do we have? Oh my goodness, Limes, already 20,000 must kill on his ACU. The TML machine really paid off. Although, it seems like they're actually being forced away, but the good thing is that Limes is actually thinking ahead, and now he's getting the advanced region aura. Just look at it. Like now, 15 per second, boom! Advanced region aura finished, and now suddenly all of your destroyers are gonna recover 50 HP per second. And that's gonna be big. Like, honestly, I love this move. Advanced Nano aura on this ACU, TML, this man have just a big brain place, and he's living his best life right now, making sure that his teammate Blinchik can just keep on destroying his opponents on the left flank. This is what you call a team play. Let's go and see what is happening on the other side, because it seems like WaffelzNoob is actually capable of bringing down the pain towards the other side of the map, as Svatosław, after getting a few nice drops here and there, is gonna get slowly but surely forced out of the naval game. He only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 destroyers remaining, going out versus a big army of the units belonging to WaffelzNoob. 16 destroyers, and also for a good measure, 25 frigates available. So yes, we will need some kind of support happening on the right flank, as otherwise it's gonna go and, well, crumble, just like what is happening on the other flank for the top team, as the team Sus Amogus is having trouble containing this beautiful purple army belonging to Blinchik with the support of Limes. Although it seems like, thankfully, we have the first Galaxy class battleships hitting the field. They might not be as good as the Omen class, but they are cheap as hell to make, so yeah, it's good to have a few of them. At the same time, we will have some torpedo bombers trying to go and relieve the pain by trying to go and bomb some of the destroyers belonging to Blinchik on the left flank. We will also see the first Omen-class battleships being built by Tersto, which is a very good move, because Omen-class battleships are amazing at crushing the T2 forces. Not good versus T1, but versus T2, they're just perfect. They are just like a slightly better Neptune. Oh no! It seems like one of the battleships have been caught out of position. As we can see, all of the shells raining down upon it as damage is being piled up upon its hull. One shell after another exploding on its sleek, black hull. There's even some support from the enemy AI coming in, with the gunship swooping in to go and deal with this battleship. Like, yeah, you're gone, bozo. You're gonna be gone soon enough. Especially as it seems like FAF is unwilling to take the fight, and instead it's gonna be up to WaffelzNoob to go and throw a few ASF to go and help secure this position here by killing the enemy gunships. WaffelzNoob? Well, it seems like he's not gonna go... Okay, no, never mind. He is gonna go and commit to the push. He saw the enemy battleships, and now he's gonna submerge his own destroyers to go and make sure that none of them are gonna get hit by the big naval guns on the battleships. And instead, he's gonna go and use the torpedo launchers to just strike from below the underwater. So yeah, we can see that Svatosov is forced to just keep on running away, as all of his units are basically being killed without being able to shoot back at all. As yeah, Bully is the mastermind behind this play here. Like yeah, great, battleships are amazing and dealing with surface target, right? But when you have them shoot at something that is below the surface of the water, well, that's not so easy. Although it does seem like Svatosov have some amazing ground fire aim. Like you can see, the Ushavok destroyers belonging to Bully are just exploding one after another on the seafloor as they are taking massive area of the match damage. As Svato just proves just what a gamer he is. Amazing job, honestly. That was very, very good indeed. And now let's go and look what is happening on the left side of the flank, where the push, the T2 push from Blinchik is just not stopping. It's inching closer and closer towards the build power facilities belonging to the Team Susamogus, as the rain is just not stopping and the men don't have any way to go and hide from it. And no, it's not only just rain that's raining down on them. It's also a steel, bunch of missiles, bunch of rockets and other stuff flying the way of the enemy naval factories. So yeah, how are you gonna deal with it? Because your battleships are dying one after another. You don't even have a single destroyers left remaining. It's only the HP on the battleships that is keeping you alive and in this game. So let's zoom out and now see what is the number of ASF for both teams. Y5, 150. And then FAF should have somewhere... Okay, that is 120 and 80, so yeah, basically 200, so if he have a quarter more compared to his enemy, so I feel like he could be actually taking an airfight right now, or rather, he should try fighting the air, otherwise it's gonna be very, very hard for the team to actually even keep control over this lagoon here, because just look at this. Look at all of the cyber missiles, rockets and shells just flying all over the place. Another Omen battleship is gonna bite the dust, as you can see it just flipping its way upside down in the background, as the dangerous and angry Cybran forces are gonna go and switch the targets towards another one, as more and more missiles are aimed down towards the hull of this single boy here with only 5,000 HP left remaining. 3,000, and yeah, run you fool, run, for else you are gonna die. And with this, it is gonna be GG. As another Omen have just been sunk. Thankfully, it seems like there is another battleship coming in here. This time from Radde to go and support his losing teammate. And oh boy, another Omen have been caught in the crossfire. He is way too close to the angry mob of the cyber units. He is just getting mugged live on the stream. As we can see, his life being stolen away by the enemy navy. Now let's see what is WaffelzNoob's up to. Well, not much, because he have just suffered an amazing defeat after getting torpedo bombarded by the enemy air player, because FAF wasn't really paying attention to what is happening. But he's not gonna stay and take it laying, as we can also see that the torpedo bombers from Wi-Fi, I mean from himself, are also gonna go for the enemy battleships. But the problem is that Wi-Fi is actually not gonna respond this time, and as such, the torpedo bombers are still alive and well, ready for another bombing run. Also, let's see if we have any kind of experimental units being built. Maybe nuke, maybe something. Oh my goodness, it seems like Limes is gonna go all in on the air factory building. It's just a domino of air factories just popping out one after another. Like, what is this, my man? Like, come on, make sure you build them one after another, because this might look very cool with the alien technology just bringing the factories to life, but this is not really looking that well. And ASF from Seraphim trying to go and catch the ASF belonging to Wi-Fi, but thankfully the man is gonna go and escape with his life. Anyway, SMD here, I don't see any nukes. No, never mind, there is a single Stonager here available, so that is very nice to see that there is some kind of nuclear warheads being prepared by one of the teams. But the thing is, okay, it seems like this push from Blinchik is actually finally being stopped by the grace of the torpedo bombers flying in from the air player of the red team, the Seraphim Noob. So thankfully, it seems like just now the situation is more or less gonna stabilize in this front. Especially as all of the destroyers and cruisers have been dispatched by the Team Susamogus. And now it's gonna be all about battleship grind. And when it comes to the number of the ships available, there is 5 battleships for the Team Susamogus, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 battleships available for the Team Baltica 9. Bombers coming in here to go and destroy a few of the enemy ships, as the Mermaid, Salem, and a few frigates gonna go and fall victim to that. As the are now gonna go for the next round of drops. Nope, they will not, as a single cruiser here is gonna be enough to go and shut them down. But here comes the round number 2, as we can see another Galaxy class just falling over and sinking down as more and more bombers are making their way towards the battleship belonging to Blinchik. As it seems like Wi-Fi is not gonna try to protect the naval forces belonging to his teammate, as he deems that he doesn't have enough units available. 210 units on the clock. Meanwhile, Seraphim Noob, 125 and 80, so actually it seems like Wi-Fi is catching up, but he only have 10 less ASF available, so that's very bad for the top team, as air superiority was kind of their way to the victory right now. Also, a bunch of T3 Yahotsu submarines have been fielded by Blinchik, which is a very good choice indeed. We even have the RNG AI coming in to chip in, but WaffelzNoob is not gonna go and have it laying around, as he will go for a bombing run with his own torpedo launchers, bombers. Thankfully, it seems like this time Wi-Fi is gonna go and react in time. As such, the losses are gonna be cut short. Still, 3 of the submarines have been shot down, and a few more took some damage. But it still allows the Blinchik to just keep the push going, especially together in tandem with the supporting AI. And even more so as we see that there is like what? 2 Omens and 5 Khartoum's battleships available for the Team Baltica 9. Meanwhile, Bullynoob only have 4 Khartoums available, and a few, well, destroyers, and that's gonna be it. The Stonager missile have been launched. The warhead is, well, it's not going there, it's going somewhere else. But the question is it going to connect with anything at all? Do we have SMDs ready to intercept the nuclear warhead? There is one here, and it is loaded. But the problem is, while you can actually go and cover the available build power here, if the nuclear missile lands somewhere around this part here, it's gonna kill a lot of stuff. Build power here, the battleships and other stuff, and also a bunch of T1 factories. The missile is actually flying for the main base and the SMD is gonna intercept it. Kaboom! So unfortunately, it seems like the bottom team didn't do their diligence when looking for the enemy SMDs, or actually, no, they were fully aware of it being here. For some reason, they just launched the nuke anyway, I guess hoping for the SMD to not be loaded. Which I guess is a gamble you can take. Especially when it seems like you're doing quite fine on the naval part of the warfare. Of course I'm gonna enjoy it. I have all the power to draw whatever I want. So I will do it. And you have no way to stop me. Anyway, another bombing run is gonna come this way, but it seems like Blinchik, fully aware of the fact that the torpedo bombers might come running his way, is actually producing some more AA here and here. We can see some SAM launchers being set up here and here. Well, no PP drawing for today, but I did draw PP by mistake in the last Rainbow Cup. It just happened. Okay, let's not talk about that because I didn't mean to draw that. It just kind of happened. But yeah, it seems like the battleship grind is going quite well for the top team here, as Sus Amogus is making quite a good progress at making sure that the Galaxy-class battleships are gonna keep on falling one after another, as we can see them sinking down to the floor of the sea. There is also a Galaxy Colossi being fielded for no reason at all, but to, I guess, just tank some damage. But the big problem right now is gonna be, what are you gonna do about this amount of T3 submarines, which are just dealing massive damage towards the forces belonging to WaffelzNoob? As we can see, another battleship biting the dust after getting hit in the broadside by an amazing volley of the enemy fire. We can also see WaffelzNoob just trying to go and ground fire any kind of submarines he can, but thankfully Svatosov is paying very good attention, keeping his micro on point. So yeah, no accidental damage have been dealt to the submarines yet. And man, there is so many units available on the battlefield that even my CPU went down to -1. Oh well. No wonder this game is taking a while to actually finish. But still, there's a big amount of battleships remaining for Blinchik, so I think that this is actually not gonna work out. Oh my goodness, here comes the AI T1 bombers to snipe the enemy navy. The menace is here, and it is, not even menace, it's vermins all over the place, killing and sniping one naval factory after another. Bombs being dropped all over the place by the AI forces. But the SAMs belonging to Limes are doing good job at trying to kill them. But look at how they're spreading all out. Is Wi-Fi gonna react? No, he won't. He's not risking the airfight, or maybe he's actually gonna go and swoop in to deal with the enemy units. No, he won't, at least not yet. But yeah, this is just a slow grind, because naval forces always come to a standstill. Even if you are winning the battles, it will still take a lot of time to deal with. And look, okay, it seems like there's an Ahwasa that have been finished by Limes, and it is gonna go for the build power available to the naval forces of WaffelzNoob. Wi-Fi making for a very nice air screen to make sure that the Ahwasa can do its job, but WaffelzNoob is also standing on the guard. Ahwasa gonna go and drop the bomb straight on the enemy battleships. It is gonna be big. Bomb have been launched and Ahwasa is gonna go behind. WaffelzNoob gonna go and try to go for the kill on the Ahwasa, as Ahwasa gonna take a lot of damage. And yeah, he's gonna go and suicide a 30 or so ASF, as Mr. Y5, no, never mind. It was actually a very good damaging run versus the Ahwasa. We just lost around half of its HP. And it seems like WaffelzNoob didn't lose even a single ASF, to be honest. So that was a very good move by him, but the problem is that the damage to the battleships have been done. Already 10,000 was killed by the Ahwasa, and that's not counting all of the damage that have been dealt to these battleships up there. Let's see, any kind of juicy tier 4 experimentals or not? Nope. Or maybe yes. We have a Novax actually available for Wi-Fi. I don't really see the satellite. Oh, never mind. I have found the satellite. The satellite is destroying all of the unshielded T3 mexes. Even more so as they seem to be, well, supported by a bunch of T2 masswaps, which are, well, very explosive indeed. So we can basically have... Wait, there is a Mavor. Holy hell, I'm blind. Oh yeah, but it's not finished yet, and it's only on around 35% done, so yeah. Listen, Novax is much more fun, okay? It's the satellite of doom, and who cares about the UEF pennies? Like, yeah, UEF can keep the pennies to themselves. I prefer the satellite. But yeah, another beautiful bomb being dropped by Limes as the Ahwasa already racked up 60,000 mass killed, as we have an airfight on our hands happening, as FAF is taking the plunge into the air force belonging to Wi-Fi, and no, he's actually not fighting it properly. The micro is horrible, the man is just ruining the game, as his ASF are split in the most asinine way I have ever seen ever happen. That's a clean sweep. Oh boy! That is most likely a GG right here, right now, because with the Ahwasa still on the prowl and nothing to defend against it, I'm afraid to say that WaffelzNoob's base is gonna be the next victim of it. We also have another nuclear missile being launched, as the warhead is gonna go straight for the naval bases belonging to... no. Where is it going? Oh wait, we also have a Paragon being done. Oh my... I guess that's about this Paragon being built. Welp. That's it for the Paragon, I assume. Especially as the Ahwasa is now just gonna go and fly over the remaining battlefield, as the wall aggregate is gonna go and fall down in the next few shells. Or should I say bombs being dropped by the Ahwasa, which already scored up 110,000 mass killed. And with this, it seems like it is gonna be a GG well played to the team Free Alcasha and Baltica 9, who with this victory are gonna get 2 points and proceed towards the next round of the losers bracket. So GG, whoop to them, and see you next Saturday when they're gonna be facing off versus the losers of the next game of the upper bracket. And I guess with this we are more or less done with this day of the Rainbow Cup tournament. It honestly went way smoother than expected compared to the previous days. But hey, I'm all grateful for that, because yesterday was a little bit of a lobby sim on our part, but hey, it happens. So yeah, now we can actually go and take a look at the full proper bracket to see how is it actually gonna look like. Especially as it seems like the team Sus Amogus have been actually eliminated from the tournament with this loss. So, sorry guys, I lied before, there was no game 3. I'm sorry for lying to everyone on the stream, but yeah, there is no game 3 in this round.